Hello, I'm Susan Hassler, Editor-in-Chief of IEEE Spectrum.
Hello, this is Randi Sumner, Senior Director of Strategy and Entrepreneurship for IEEE. Susan, in your words, what does IEEE represent?
Well, I get asked this question a lot, and for me, IEEE is an organization of engineers and technologists from all around the world. And IEEE attracts the best and the brightest of these engineers, people who are helping to solve the world's most pressing problems. So tell me now, Randi, here's a question for you. How many members does IEEE have?
We have over 400,000 globally, and it starts with students and goes all the way up to CEOs of both large corporations and startups, as well as professors across the whole gamut. Okay, Susan, it's time for 3 real technology questions. What, in your mind, is the greatest accomplishment in technology and engineering over about the last 20 years?
Well, as the editor of IEEE Spectrum, I see a lot of technology achievements, and there are a lot of remarkable things. I mean, it feels almost compressed over the last 20 years. But I think the biggest one, at least for me, is broadband access. Because in 2020, less than 7% of the world was online, and now over half the population has access to the internet. And then there's also cell phones. You know, in 2000, there were 740 million cell phones in the entire world, and now there's more than 8 billion cell phones in the world, and that's more than there are people on the earth.
You know, what are some of the technology innovations that you think the listeners should be excited about?
Well, as I said, I can rattle off a list of 25 things that I think have been very important. But the ones that stand out for me at the moment, just because we're working on some stuff around this, are machine learning, which is then sort of umbrella term for artificial intelligence, and all of the applications that go with that. There's, it's got problems, but it also has a lot of possibility. And also something like robotic surgery, where it's now possible to have knee replacements and hip replacements, and even heart surgery that is done with the assistance of robotics, which means that the incisions are smaller, they're more precise, the recovery is much faster. And this is really just the beginning of that ability to use machines to assist surgeons in the operating room. What do you think is the biggest hurdle for 21st century engineering?
So I think that relates to the people themselves. Innovation requires multifaceted and real interdisciplinary skill sets now. Foundational things like signal processing have been dived deep into for years. And in order to really make huge advances, it can't be one person in a lab anymore. You really need a team of people who have very diversified skill sets and who themselves are diverse, bringing different thought processes to the table and different training to the table. And that combination is what really drives innovation, and that's hard to achieve.
So Randi, I think we're done now, and I've been delighted to actually have this conversation with you. It's funny, we don't get to talk very much except by Zoom these days, but and I'm really glad that we're part of the Switch conference, which has made a lot of people become aware of new opportunities and also of new technologies that they might not have thought about before.
Exactly. I think the Singapore Week of Innovation and Technology is an inspiration that drives far beyond the Southeast Asia region. And I think I encourage everyone who is listening to this or in the audience to also think about some of the things that we talked about that are coming down the pike in the future. And in order to make all of those happen, those of you that are in technology right now need to inspire the future generation of technologists. So please, those younger folks, tell them engineering is fun and amazing and really will change the world.